John, you ready?
Yeah, I can start. Hey, Kobe, how you
How do
doing,
I
man?
see them?
All right, guys.
Do I see them at all? Well, I need to. Yeah.
Yeah, can you hear me, Kobe?
Yes. How you
Okay,
doing?
doing great, man. We didn't know we were going to get a coach today, so that's
Oh
a
yeah,
cool.
I'm here. I'm here, babe.
All right,
Y'all don't want to talk? What's going
we do
on?
want to talk. We do want to talk.
Okay.
Well, just kind of tell us what the vibe is in the locker room going into this game against Texas.
Man, the vibe is good. The kids came out and worked hard today. Had some new wrinkles as we do every week. So they were good with the new wrinkles that we put in for this week for this specific defense, and they were ready to go.
The Texas defense, statistically pretty good, similar to
Yeah.
LSU maybe in statistic. What do you make of them?
I mean, they're good at all three levels, the D line, the linebackers, and the secondary. So, as I told the team today, we have no room for error. We got to play one play at a time and execute the details of each play.
Bobby told us that you guys were going to start presenting them information about the historical background to this series, and I wonder if that started and what you've absorbed on that so
Yeah,
far.
well, today he after practice he talked about the 1964 season and the 1969 season, and how we were proclaimed the national champions after the bowl games of the 1964 season, and how it went down to the wire after the 1969 season with I think quarterback Bill Montgomery, and he still hasn't forgiven himself for that game. So the kids know, what this game means to the university, to the state of Arkansas, and all the people who are Razorback fans.
I just got a couple more. What's Mike Washington Jr. meant to the team this year?
It's meant a lot, just he's come to work every day, hasn't missed a practice since he walked on campus. He just shows everybody how to be a pro. He's worked every day, and he's been a pleasure to have.
All right. And for you, how has game day changed since being the offensive coordinator, or just your role responsibility?
I speak a little louder. I speak a little louder. You know, um, I love it because you get to communicate with all positions. When you're just a running position coach, you kind of stay away from crossing the lines or of talking to other groups when you want to coach them up. So with this position that I'm in, I like to talk to the players and give them feedback on how they can get better at what they do.
Okay. And then with Braylon, is he progressing every day? Any update on whether or not he'll be out of the protocol and ready for?
Yes, it's still TPD, but he's looking good. He's walking around. He's present in meetings, so it's looking good for us.
Thank you.
Jackson, go ahead.
Fuller, Jackson, Fuller.
Gotcha. Hey, Colby. Sorry if there's any background music. I'm in Bud Walton Arena right now. But Coach Petrino mentioned Courtney Crutchfield. He wanted to find him snaps just from what he's been doing in practice in recent weeks. What have you seen from Courtney in practice that's warranted that uptick in playing time?
Uh, Man, he's a great player. He can play all over the field, play a lot of different positions. It's just his work ethic. He's attacked each day uh, with great attention to detail, and that was a great catch that he made in the game on Saturday. So that's just a testament to his work in practice.
Cam Settles obviously slipped on that one play. What was the message with him, after the game? Just, keep your head up, stuff like that. What's the conversations like with him?
I mean, next time I see you, I'll tell you the conversation we really had. But you can't in moments like that, you have to come through. There's no excuse for falling on the ground like that. It's wide open. That's a walk-in touchdown, and that probably could have secured the game. So definitely upset about that. Didn't hold back. That's a moment that you have to take advantage of. I don't care if you're a freshman or a senior. When you have an opportunity to go in and score and possibly win the game, you become an instant legend because you beat LSU. You know what I mean? And so for him not to come through in that moment was kind of disappointing.
What have you seen from Talon recent weeks. Anything different about him? I know Bobby said it's getting, it just gets harder with every loss. I mean, have you seen anything different from the quarterback in terms of just trying to rally the guys here the last stretch of the season?
No, it's been the same, Taylor. Everybody's really been good, has a great attitude every day at practice, in the locker room, after the games. Of course, everyone is down because, you know, all the hard work that we put in during the practice weekend, it just comes down to the game at, the last 2 minutes. We just don't win, and just things don't go our way. So it does take a toll on the player, on the quarterback, because he's the guy that's in charge. He's the leader of the team. He's the leader of the offense of the unit. And so, I know he's hurting. I'm hurting. The whole team, the organization. We're all hurting, but this is what we do. So we got to find our way to strap our boots on and continue to work and find a way to win.
Last one for me, Kolby. Texas has given up 30 points, I think, in 3 straight games. What have you seen on film? What lets opposing offenses maybe have some success? What do opposing offenses do when they are able to put up points against the Texas defense?
They stick to their game plan. Vanderbilt was down in their game, and they just stuck to their game plan. And they came up. They were able to put points up in the second half. As you can see, Georgia just stayed to their game plan, and they did well. Florida, stuck with their game plan, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do what we do best. We'll have a few wrinkles in there, as we do for each and every team that we play, based on what they do defensively. So if we just go out there and play the ball that we know how to play, we can come out with a win.
Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Texas has a lot of talented linebackers. One of them, Anthony Hill Jr. Overall, what do you see on film from him and this linebacker core specifically?
Tough downhill physical linebacker that can make a lot of plays. He's a pretty good football player.
And then last one for me. Coach has talked about just establishing the run, and that was kind of an emphasis to start the second half against LSU.
Yeah.
What's it going to take to just get that going early on, and how does that open up the rest of the playbook when the run game is consistent with guys like Mike Washington?
We just got to do a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage, and on our combination blocks when we run inside zone, wide zone, whatever scheme that we do, we got to do a great job of having our O-line and our tight ends play across their line of scrimmage, moving them back 2 to 3 yards. We do that, then we've already gained 2 yards before we cross the line of scrimmage, and now we just let Mike or whoever's, Rodney carrying the ball, let their talent take over after that.
I lied. I guess I got one more. Obviously Rodney got some playing time against LSU. If Braylon Russell is out again, what do you expect from him against Texas?
I expect him to get the ball on the edge. I expect him to catch the ball out there in the open field, and I expect him to, if they kick the ball off, to have some yards in the kickoff return game.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach.
Ethan, wrap it up.
Hey, Kolby. Sorry, same situation as Jackson if you hear any background stuff. And sorry, I hopped on a little bit late, so if any of this was asked already, my apologies. But just importance of not taking some of those big penalties on first down or sacks that get y'all behind the chains and having to work against.
Yeah, I mean, that's the killer, right? You have a drive going, and then all of a sudden you have a penalty that knocks you back 10 yards. And our goal is to score every possession, every drive. But we know that's hard, but that's what we strive to do. And we just can't do that. We got to play smart football and play within the rules of the game.
And then I'll wrap it up with this. Just since you've taken over in the role that you're in, just what do you think that you've learned this year? Personally, stepping into that role?
Well, the biggest task is leading through adversity. You know what I mean? Finding a way to encourage the men each and every day, giving them something to aim for when things don't go your way, helping them understand that you still got to get up and go to work in the morning when things don't go your way, because that's life. You know what I mean? The biggest thing that we're preaching around here is that this season, because of what has happened thus far, is going to help them later in life. They will be able to draw back on what happened here in the experience that they gained and know that The coaches stayed on them. They stayed accountable. They made sure they were going to class. They made sure they were studying film, eating right, doing all the little things right when things don't go your way. So when it goes your way, you've done everything the right way.
Coach Wilson, how you doing?
I'm great, Tom. Is it Tom or Thomas?
I go by Tom.
Okay, Tom. How are you, man?
Thanks, man. I'm good. And by the way, speaking on behalf of the entire beat crew, we appreciate you coming on with us
Absolutely.
for this. So what have these weeks been like for you, coming up into the coordinator position and doing what you're doing?
It's really been amazing, for coming in to, as a support role. And Coach Pim and I had known each other for almost 30 years, and to you hate the situation that it happened in, but it's really just a lot of gratitude, just having a chance to work at a university like this and with some young men like I've been able to work with and coaches. So it's been really amazing.
When you look at the steps you guys have taken, I mean, statistically, you've improved over the last 5 games. How are you measuring, the direction you're going, I guess?
Well, it's really about the commitment that the players have made. They made a commitment to finishing this deal, because you can't change habits in 5 weeks. It was already there. And what we've tried to do is enhance the things that we do well and fix the things that we need that needed improvement. Just really that simple. So we try to keep it simple, and less is more. And we've obviously, the production has helped us, but it really is just the commitment by the players.
All right. And specifically for this week, what do you make of Texas when you scout those guys?
They're Texas. Obviously, I understand the rivalry that this place has, and I understand being from the state of Texas and being an OU alumni. We all have a feeling about the University of Texas, and so it's a great rivalry. What you do notice that they are an explosive unit. They've got skill everywhere. They're big up front, and they're really well coached. So it's a great challenge for us on defense.
Sark has such a reputation, but their yards per carry aren't maybe what they normally would be. What have you seen from the run game, and then what have you seen from Arch as well?
Well, in the run game, what they've done is that he's such a great guy in screens. That I was with Coach Sarkisian for 2 years at the University of Southern California, and what he does is, if he's struggling in the run game, his screen game becomes an extension of it. And now he makes you cover every blade of grass on the field with explosive players. And so he puts you in space. And what he's done is he's spread the ball around. Archie right now is their second leading rusher. And in regards to it, so he's making you play with all 11, and that's the one thing you notice. Offensively, they've had some issues here or there at times, but they're really beginning to gel. At least I thought they were up until last week, but they did play Georgia, who obviously one of the most physical teams in college football. But they are really explosive, and they can get points in bunches.
Hey, Chris, again, we appreciate you coming on. I'm sure some of the other guys have questions.
Absolutely.
Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach. Wyatt Simmons had a pretty great day against LSU. What did you make of his performance? And then do you think he can maybe get some more reps this week against Texas?
That's the plan. He took a little and turned it into a lot. He had about 16 opportunities, and the progression for him was every week his level of improvement in practice, and he would get a few more reps in the game. And he turned, the smallest amount of reps you had, I think at one point was 5 reps that he had. And a lot of it was as a special teams player. And he just kept developing and kept working. And so now he's at a point where he has a lot of trust from his teammates as well as his coaches.
And then specifically, Tom asked you about Arch Manning, what you see for him, but what do you see with his connection with their receiver, Ryan Wingo?
Well, first of all, Ryan Wingo is probably one of the most dynamic players in college football with his ability with yards after catch. But all of that being said, that's every week in the SEC. From Concepcion, week after week, you're playing really great players. I really think the matchups are going to be good and favorable, but so much of that is going to be based off of how we play up front. That dictates the productivity on at the second level. So I think our matchups are going to be good and on both sides, and it'll give us a chance to make some plays. But when you talk about Mr. Manning, he's a Manning. He is definitely a Manning. He can throw from every platform. He's got great arm talent. He's a big man, and he's an explosive man. And so we'll have our work cut out for. We'll have our challenges.
All right, I'll pass it on to someone else. Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely.
Jackson, go ahead.
Hey, Chris. Thank you for jumping on. Sorry about the noise behind me in the basketball arena.
No
Quincy
worries.
Rhodes, if I take you back to August 1, first day of camp, do you think he's exceeded expectations, lived up? I mean, what's this season been like, given what you thought of him before the season?
He is blooming at the right time. He's always had the physical attributes. When I first walked in, I was like, "Who is that guy?" And I've been fortunate to coach defensive line for a lot of years and coach some really exceptional players. And he has the ability to become one of those guys. I mean, and a guy who's a difference maker, a guy who can win one-on-ones for you. And again, it's just as he grows as a person and as a player, I mean, the sky's the limit.
Xavier Story is playing a lot of DE, kind of that outside linebacker role. Is that something that you guys approached him? Did he volunteer? Because he said he played that a lot in high school. How was that the switch or that transition?
It was a both. When you look at Sorey moving forward, probably in his career, he's probably going to be an outside linebacker moving forward as well as a rusher. And so we were really moving towards the 3-4 area because we wanted to get our best personnel on the field. And he was one of those guys who, when we sat down and talked, he thought it would be a great opportunity for us as well as for the team. And his level of just unselfishness is amazing. So he's been able to really help himself, I believe, moving forward. And he's really helped our team in every way that you can imagine.
What did you see on the film with Van Buren's big run on that last drive? I mean, what happened to have him get that opportunity?
Well, first of all, we played really great coverage. And, he had nowhere to go with the ball. And, when you're rushing 4 and you got five guys blocking them and you got to get him on the ground. And that's the one thing when you're playing match coverages like we play on certain down and distances, always the hardest thing to do is an athletic quarterback that's in the backfield. So what we've tried to do is improve our rush plan week to week, and hopefully we'll have a better rush plan for him this week and hopefully get him on the ground because Archie has the same capabilities.